Hello and welcome back to Level Up Your English. You're tuning in to episode 6, and as always, I'm your host, Jenna.
And I'm David. We're thrilled to have you with us for a topic that is absolutely essential for moving from basic conversations to deeper, more meaningful ones.
That's right. Today's episode is titled Speak Your Mind, Expressing Opinions in English. We're going to give you the tools you need to share your ideas, agree with others, and most importantly, disagree without being rude.
This is a huge confidence booster. Knowing how to express your own thoughts and respond to others is what makes conversations truly interesting. So let's dive in.
Okay, let's start with the foundation, sharing your own opinion. The most common and simple way to do this is with I think.
Yep, you can't go wrong with it. For example, I think this is the best coffee in the city. Or, I think we should see the new superhero movie. It's direct and clear.
But if you want to sound a little more formal or perhaps a bit more thoughtful, you can use in my opinion. For example, in my opinion, reading books is more relaxing than watching TV.
That's a great one, especially for discussions or meetings. Another slightly softer phrase is, it seems to me that. This one is useful when you're making an observation, but you know it's just your perspective.
Right, like, it seems to me that our new boss is really friendly. You're not stating it as a fact, just your impression.
Exactly. And one more for the list, from my perspective, or the way I see it. These are great for clearly marking that the following idea is your own viewpoint. For instance, from my perspective, working from home has more benefits than drawbacks.
So, to quickly recap, you have the simple, I think, the more formal, in my opinion, the softer, it seems to me that, and the clear viewpoint marker, from my perspective.
Okay, now let's move on to the positive side of discussions, agreeing with someone. This is how you build connection and keep the conversation flowing.
Yes, let's say I state an opinion. I think summer is the best season. What are some simple ways to agree, David?
The most obvious one is, I agree, or you're right. Simple, effective.
But what if you feel very strongly about it? How can you show strong agreement?
Then you can level up your language. You could say, absolutely, or exactly. These show 100% agreement. Another great one is, I couldn't agree more. It's a fantastic, enthusiastic phrase.
I love that one. Sometimes you agree with someone's reasoning more than just their final opinion. For that, you can say something like, that's a good point, or I see what you mean.
That's a really useful distinction. It shows you're not just agreeing, you're actively listening to their logic. I never thought of it that way, but that's a good point.
Exactly. So from simple agreement like I agree to strong agreement with absolutely and showing understanding with that's a good point. You have lots of great options.
All right, now for the trickiest part of today's topic, how to disagree politely. This is a skill that even native speakers sometimes struggle with, but it's crucial for having respectful conversations.
It really is. The golden rule here is to first acknowledge the other person's point before you state your own. It softens the disagreement.
Let's use an example. Imagine I say, I think all students should have to wear uniforms to school. How could you disagree politely, Jenna?
Okay, so first, I'd acknowledge your idea. I could start with, I see what you're saying, but, or I understand where you're coming from, however, this shows I heard you.
Perfect. What comes next?
Then I'd state my different view. So, I see what you're saying, but I feel that uniforms can take away students' individuality.
That's a fantastic, respectful way to do it. Another gentle phrase is, I'm not so sure about that. It's not a strong no, it just introduces doubt. For example, I'm not so sure about that. It seems like it could be very expensive for some families.
That's a good one. You can also present an alternative perspective with, on the other hand. For instance, that's an interesting point. On the other hand, many students express themselves through their clothes.
So the structure is acknowledge, then present your different view. Never just say, you're wrong, or that's a stupid idea. That will shut down the conversation immediately.
Okay, I think it's time to put all three skills together. Let's have a quick discussion. David, what's our topic?
Is it better to live in a big city or in the countryside? I'll start. In my opinion, living in a big city is much more exciting. There's always something to do, like concerts, museums, and new restaurants.
That's a good point. There are definitely more entertainment options, but it seems to me that the countryside is far more peaceful and relaxing. The air is cleaner, and you can connect with nature.
I see where you're coming from, but I think I would get bored in the countryside. From my perspective, the energy of the city is what makes life interesting.
I'm not so sure about that. The way I see it, peace and quiet allows you to focus on your hobbies and yourself, which is a different kind of excitement. Plus, cities are so expensive.
I absolutely agree with you there. The cost of living is much higher in the city. You're right about that.
And scene. See how we did that? We used phrases to give our opinions, to disagree politely, and to find a point of agreement at the end.
And that really is the art of conversation. It's not about winning an argument, it's about sharing ideas and understanding different perspectives.
So our challenge to you is to try using one of these new phrases this week. Maybe start by sharing a simple opinion with a friend, or try politely disagreeing about which movie to watch.
Practice makes perfect. We hope you found this episode helpful for learning how to speak your mind confidently and respectfully.
If you did, it would mean the world to us if you could take a second to like this video and subscribe to the Level Up Your English channel.
It helps more learners like you find our content. Thanks so much for listening.
Until next time, keep the conversation going. Bye.